My name is Vijayasekar Kalavakonda. I work for the World Bank Group. I'm a senior financial sector specialist at the World Bank working on insurance. And I've been involved with the Global Index Insurance Facility and its activity since 2012. It's a great question. I think that's at the center of trying to get a sustainable agriculture insurance market in sub-Saharan Africa. Today, if we look across in sub-Saharan African countries, we have large number of people involved in agriculture, in farming. But then if you look at a proportion of those who are basically having insurance coverage, it's relatively small, very thin, very low number of farmers basically have insurance protection. So what is at the bottom of this whole thing? One, when we look at the countries where you have large scale agriculture insurance program, it's in those countries where there is a large scale agriculture finance or agriculture credit program where the financial institutions are involved in extending loans to the farmers. If you look at Africa, the agriculture finance and agriculture credit market is relatively small. Number one. Number two, in the countries where you see large-scale agriculture insurance, like in India, in China, in Mexico, and in several other countries, you have agriculture insurance as a compulsory product where the insurance is bundled as part of insurance, as part of the credit. In Africa, you don't have the compulsory nature of agriculture insurance. And finally, what you also see in the countries with large-scale agriculture insurance program, they are part of a larger agriculture policy sort of a decision by the government, where the government is involved in supporting the agriculture insurance program by either providing better access to data, providing subsidies in terms of premiums, and also in terms of creating the necessary enabling environment by crowding in the insurance companies to reach the last mile. I think those are some of the challenges that we see in Africa, is that you don't see any of these type of enabling environments, or for that matter, the role of the government is relatively low or muted in many markets. And I think when you look at some of these issues, maybe we can look at developing a much more robust and large-scale agriculture insurance market, even in the sub-Saharan African context. I think it's a great question. I think technology is rapidly evolving and is actually changing the entire landscape of the insurance market or agri-finance/insurance market in several countries globally. Today, what you're seeing is with the penetration of mobile phones, particularly smartphones, I think the last mile service delivery, reaching out to the client, potential farmers in the remote villages, is becoming much more easier. Extending credit through mobile credit system, like today, if you look at several African countries, you look at M-Pesa, how it has basically revolutionized access to finance in Kenya, and similarly in several other countries in Africa. So I think mobile penetration and mobile-based financial services is a great sort of an opportunity through which one could look at expanding access to insurance, bundling insurance with credit. That is one. Number two, what we are also looking at is using of the smartphone technology to help in terms of service delivery, particularly how can you do loss assessments and claim settlements of farmers in a much more timely manner. So again, I think with the scaling up of technology, I think this is becoming, now the barriers are getting broken and you can improve the efficiency and do the claim settlement and other related aspects in a much more efficient manner. If you look at the global experience with respect to agriculture insurance, it takes time. It takes time to reach a minimum threshold size in terms of market size. It could take anywhere at a bare minimum between 8 to 10 years before you achieve some meaningful scale. And you need, the support, you need patient capital. which can basically help nurture, do a lot of piloting, testing, test out a few innovative ideas and things of those sort. And this is where the global index insurance facility is very uniquely placed to partner with potential clients in several countries, in developing countries, and more so in the sub-Saharan African countries, to be able to work with some of these type of service providers, insurance companies, banks, financial institutions, other financial institutions, to be able to bring them in, crowd them into delivery, design and delivery of agriculture insurance. So I think in that sense, the Global Index Insurances facility is very uniquely placed. Also because we are able to bring in a lot of global experience and share what works, what does not work based upon global experiences. And I think these are things where I think the Global Index Insurance facility can play a very significant role in helping nurture and develop the agriculture insurance markets in several of our countries in sub-Saharan Africa.